We're playing My Dangerous Life again with the really racist love interest. Everyone's really racist in this game, really. And yeah, now we're in Alan's room because did we get mad at Chad? How could we? He's a Chad. I don't really recall what happened. What new and exciting Japanese discrimination awaits us? You know, we're gonna find out, hun. Okay, let's go. Ever since then, Alan had been letting me sleep in his room. Are you still awake? As he came into the room that night, Alan saw me spacing out. I was just about to go to sleep. Uh-huh. Alan looked at me as though he wanted to say something, then chuckled. What are you laughing about? You're more stubborn than you look. Huh? You're being a lot more headstrong than you need to be. I don't mind you using this room, but if you want to talk to Chad, you ought to do it. Do we get to cut a bee? No. No, I really... Alan saw right through me. I curled up in bed. Is he gonna be sleeping in the bed with us too, just like Chad? Ooh, I think we should ask about Chad. Alan, where did you meet Chad? I made up my mind to talk about him. Meet him. One thing's for sure, he's always been shrewd. Huh? Did something happen? Alan gave a small laugh as I leaned forward in interest. I can't imagine Alan laughing from his sprite here. It made me somewhat embarrassed. You're pretty interested in him, aren't you? What happened last time? Racism and a very creepy stalker / love interest. No, it's not that, but... But what? He's right. Why? Why am I so... Well, whatever. Seeing me at odds with myself, Alan cut off my train of thought. I can't really tell you much about me and Chad, but I happened to run across him in a certain place. He got in my way, and I got pissed off. But it was clear from the start that I didn't want him as my enemy. Is Chad really that scary? Yes! He's chased us down in the New York streets for hours! He... Yes! I'm not afraid of anyone, but that guy doesn't let anything slip by him, and he's really good at hiding his true feelings. Back then, he almost ripped me up. There's no point getting on someone's bad side over something like that. Ripped you up? That's... suggestive. Alan furrowed his brow and gave a small sigh. Was that the same love interest as sexually assaulting you in bed? Yes, it was. It's just, Hinata, it seems like he's being weirdly nice to you. Wait, did I read that right? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I see. Huh? No, not at all. All I ever see him doing is chasing your ass around and muttering sweet nothings into your ear. Yeah, that's pretty much all he does. It's actually really frightening. My ass? What do you mean, your ass? He's gonna have your ass? What are you saying? But I know what you mean. Chad is definitely weird. This is such Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah, he's completely nuts. But what should I do? That's something you need to figure out for yourself. We need to go back to Japan. Alan patted me on the head. You should be able to find the answer, don't you think? I looked up and met Alan's eyes. They were strong but somehow gentle too. I don't know. Then go to sleep. What? Man, you're cold. I meant sleep on it and think it over in the morning. Or are you gonna let someone else answer it for you? You'll figure it out. I'll give you one bit of advice, though. Don't give your heart away too easily. If you just give your heart away, it makes you look weak. Then everyone loses, I can tell you that for sure. I thought I saw a flicker of sadness in Alan's eyes. For some reason, I suddenly felt a pang in my heart. Okay, now I remember what happened, actually. Wasn't Chad talking to the guy who stole our identity and Chad was giving him money or something? That's why we're in Alan's room now, because we're mad at him. Why would he say something like that? I had no way of knowing whether it was related to his work or something else, so I didn't reply. It's all coming back to me now. The next day I was sitting in the living room mulling everything over. I didn't have anything to apologize to Chad for. It would be weird for me to bring it up first. When we first met, maybe that was the moment Chad's behavior turned weird. What? This is some kind of crazy doublethink. The moment Chad met, that's when his behavior turned weird? What? Maybe he's always been weird. Have you considered that? He's always been this way. He's always not been right in the head. After he smuggled in the fake me, I wasn't able to go to university anymore. If Chad knew that, then maybe he helped me out because he felt sorry for me. But now that I think about it... I thought you were younger. I didn't realize you were a university student. That made it sound like he didn't know I was the real thing. So maybe he wasn't helping me out of sympathy after all. In that case, I wish he'd give me an explanation. Wait, do I really want to know? I know, you're freaking out by turned weird. Because our first interaction with him was him chasing us down the New York streets. It's just like, Hinata wants to believe that he's actually a normal person. It's just, he was weird before we even met him. Or right when we first met him. I don't even... It's like he wants to believe he can fix Chad or something. I don't know. I hugged my knees and buried my face in them. Chad has gone out somewhere today. If he was meeting up with the fake me again, just thinking about that made me clench my fists. Maybe there's a way for me to go back to university. I should have been happy about that, but I just felt depressed. What's up with you lately? I lifted my head to find Brad sitting next to me. Since when? Since when have I been here? I nodded and let my feet drop back down to the floor. Since right about the time you grabbed your legs like that. So this whole time... Hey now, come on, tell me what's bugging you. Does it have something to do with what you and Alan were talking about? Not exactly, but... there was a part of me that wanted to know. The truth is, I think someone's been tricking me. I gave him a short explanation, leaving out Chad's name. What? Honey, he's the only person you know here. After I'd finished, Brad heaved a huge sigh. Damn, sounds like a lover's quarrel. The quarrel part made sense, but the lover's part was a different story. Huh? What's with that face? You didn't notice? It's Square Enix character? Oh my gosh. He doesn't have enough belts. I tilted my head. Notice what? That guy obviously has a thing for you. No, there's no way. I don't think. He literally directly told us he's interested in us as more than a friend. I don't know what you're out here telling falsehoods for. Well, if you want to deny it, go ahead. But how can you be so sure? Because... I couldn't say because he's a guy. That might give away that it was Chad. You're so stupid. God, I hate it when I think this is a Japanese-made game, and I hate Japanese protagonists. Not ethnically, but I mean, games made in Japan, I hate the protagonists. You've got no reason not to believe it. Or is it because you're hoping I'm wrong? That's exactly it. Anyway, what are you moping around here for? It's just a question of feelings, right? You could distract yourself with something else. I leaned forward inquiringly. Is he about to kiss us or something? Do you think I could pull that off? If you really want to. Instead of moving away, Brad leaned in closer. Yes, there he goes. That's what I said. Why don't I help with that? Just put that other person out of your mind as quickly as possible. No, I'm fine. I moved away from Brad and got up from the couch. Hey, where are you going? After talking to Brad, I tried to force myself to address the feelings I hadn't wanted to notice. But I have to keep denying it. What? Why? Huh? I've been cheated and I'm obviously angry about that. I can't possibly, I didn't have any of those special feelings Brad had been talking about. What's the hurry? Got a bright idea? Thank you for talking to me. No need to thank me. What are you gonna do? I'm going to outwit the person who tricked me by catching the fake me. The fake you? Oh, at university you mean. And then what? Hand him over to the police. And then I'll forget all about Chad and throw myself into my studies. With those scrawny little arms, you're not going to catch anyone. I'm going to try. Try? Damn, you're stubborn. Is he our friend? He's our sexual assaulter's roommate. Yeah. Fine, I've got nothing to do today. I'll help you out. As I opened the front door, I heard Brad's voice from behind me, sounding resigned. Will you really? I'm always extra nice to the cute ones. Both Brad and Chad kept using that word, cute. Did they not see me as a guy? It made me anxious. What, guys can be cute? I mean, even I can tell Chad's good looking, but I felt like there'd been an awful lot of physical contact between us. Didn't he kiss us? What is wrong with you, Hinata? Homosexuals exist. It's like you just don't understand the concept, even. I'm getting bitter over Chad again. I should quit thinking about him for now. Oh, hi, Chad. Back at this hour? Just at that moment, Chad returned. Brad, none the wiser, smiled and greeted him. Ah, Brad and Hinata. Are you two heading out? He had been out all night, but he didn't look tired. He's been gone since last night. Where has he been? His smile was as bright as ever. Even now I felt a sense of relief looking at his face. I hated myself for it. I love how his body just instantly submits to Chad. That's great. But why are you not angry? Why are you not asking questions about the guy who stole your identity? I ignored his question and looked away. Are you still angry at me? Why? I took Brad's hand and wrapped my arm around his. Let's go, Brad. Why aren't we going to ask him about what happened? We still don't understand what was actually happening. Damn, you're demanding all of a sudden. I heard Brad's voice right next to my ear, probably because I was holding his arm. That tickles. Nah, you know it feels good. I'm right here, you know. Hinata is still a child, so he... No, Chad. Hinata is still a child, so he won't understand yet. Then why did you kiss me last night if I'm still a child? Because I knew you wouldn't tell anyone. Chad cut into our conversation. Gotcha. Well, I'll teach myself, so no wait, is that... No, this is Brad again. Gotcha. Well, I'll teach myself, so no worries. Wait, Brad, Chad? I'm getting confused. Their names are too similar. They both end with an ad. Teach me what? I had grabbed his arm to spite Chad, but I suddenly started to regret that very much. Not that Chad has any reason to care about that, but Thinking about it, I felt anxiety spreading through my chest all over again. Hinata's a born sub? Yuck. Hinata, won't you talk to me? Yes, we need to talk to him. We need to figure out what he was doing. I heard Chad calling to me from behind. Why am I happy to hear him say that? Sorry, but he's with me. Brad, I have a prediction for you. What? You're going down. Huh? Chad, what the hell would make you say that? What? Did he just hit Brad? The arm I had linked through his was suddenly yanked downwards. Before I could see what had happened, I heard Brad yelling. Chad, what the hell does tripping up someone count as a prediction? It's your own fault for not paying attention. I thought Chad... It just said Chad was behind us as we were walking away, didn't it? How in the name of the Lord did Chad instantly teleport ahead of Brad to trip him? After all, you tripped over your own feet this time. Before he could make a retort, Chad held his hand out to Brad. That looked like it hurt. I'll walk you to your room. Like hell, I want an apology first. Whatever for? You think I'm gonna let you get away with that if you just grin? Not at all. I think you'll forgive me because I'm me. I couldn't help but make a surprise sound. Given what had just happened, I will accompany you in Brad's stead. No, I couldn't ask you to. Chad's being an absolute child. Well, he is a man-child. Would you rather ask Brad? I could tell him Brad had offered to help, but even as if I said that, Chad would still tag along. Chad, did you trip me up just because you didn't like me seeing me with Hinata? Why else? That flawless smile, that first-rate sweetness in his face, every time he smiled at me I felt a stab in my heart. Why are you simping for him so hard? What? I don't understand what he's done to deserve this. You must just be like really horny. I don't get it. This is stupid. I knew it was a lover's quarrel. With those parting words, Brad left. Oh, great. Now we're stuck with Chad. He's figured it out about me and Chad. You were really keeping it a big secret. Most well-kept secret. Chad suggested we go someplace we could be alone, so we went back to his room. I'm sure nothing sexual will happen. Hinata, you haven't said a word to me since then. I have no idea what to say to him. I thought I hated him, but having him here in front of me, I felt happy. Nevertheless, the pain of having been betrayed left me dumbstruck. Where were you planning to go with Brad? Now we have to explain to him what we were doing behind his back. Since I disrupted you, let me help. Then why don't you... I didn't hear you. Would you repeat that? Actually, I wasn't finished talking. You sort of just cut me off. Then why don't you give me my home back and let me go to university? That may prove difficult. If you can't do it, then I just want you to let me be. I can't do that either. Hearing him put it so bluntly, I couldn't help but look straight into Chad's face. Why are you so fixated on your studies? I'm a very nice sugar daddy, you know. Aren't sugar daddies all the rage right now? You could be my little sugar baby. Because I can finally achieve my dreams by going there. University isn't the only place that will allow you to do that. He was probably right, but still. I've always wanted to come to America. I want to live and learn here. If you want to learn, you can learn anywhere. Stop talking like a professor. He is not talking like a professor. If you're looking for where you belong, how about at my side? This was so unexpected that I couldn't quite believe my ears. This isn't unexpected. If you take any further action, you'll be in danger. Why not stay where you'll be safe? Chad was talking to me with the voice of someone attempting to lure somebody in. That's what he's been doing the whole time. He took hold of my hand. Ooh, consider it or look up. I'm not sure which is more, I don't know, conducive to getting with Chad. Look up? I looked up at Chad. I felt an even deeper affection than usual in his gentle gaze. Do you usually feel uneasy around me? Well, you know, after chasing me through the New York streets for several hours, sexually assaulting me in bed, after colluding with the person who stole my identity, it's a little hard to feel normal around you. No, I just can't quite trust you yet. You're cute, even when you get angry like this, Hinata. He kissed my hair. Over and over, he kept whispering how cute I was. It seemed like he wasn't even seeing me. Stop messing around and tell me what's going on. Why have you been so nice to me? When has he been nice? I felt disgusted at the way my voice was shaking. Because you're adorable. And if I weren't, you're always going to be adorable. Chad wouldn't give me a straight answer. I have to get on equal footing with him. I was startled by my own thoughts. What would that mean, equal footing? This is scary. I don't even know my own feelings. Hinata. I'm fine. I moved away from Chad and pushed those thoughts aside. I'll take care of my own business. I would go in search of the fake me so I could expose him, as I had been planning from the start. There was nothing else I could do. I may not be able to do much without money, but at least I can try and figure out why you replaced me in the first place. Please, allow me to go with you. Does it even matter if I allow you? You'll just chase me again. No, I can't trust you. Please understand. Ah, that doesn't bother me. Chad looked indifferent, like he's not gonna be following us. I was feeling less and less secure about what kind of person he really was. I realize that I want to know more about you. I had assumed you would give in easily, but it seems you're acting contrary to my expectations. Since you look so young, I just thought it would be easy to manipulate you. Chad left the room looking like he was enjoying himself. If you would, Hinata. Chad was waiting for me and I left the apartment. What did he mean by that? You don't understand. No. Chad showed me his bent arm. He seemed to be offering it to me. You were walking arm in arm with Brad, weren't you? That just happened. Well, why don't you do the same with me? No, that's not what I meant. I felt slightly dizzy. I wouldn't want to trouble you, of course. Let me reveal my scheme to you. But what do you mean? The nearer you are to me, the quieter we can speak to each other. Here, take my arm. I sensed that I was getting caught up in another one of Chad's tricks, but those words, reveal my scheme, were so tempting that I had to play along. I wound my arm through his. He is such a sub. The stares of passerbys made me feel uncomfortable. No matter how young I looked, it was obvious that we were both guys. Can we talk about whatever we need to talk about now? You're feeling shy now, aren't you? I nodded without hesitation. Don't worry, they probably think you're just my adopted son, since you're so young and everything. Nothing to be done about that. Listen closely so I don't have to raise my voice. I nodded again. You're being used as a scapegoat. A scapegoat? A certain organization needs to lay the blame for all of its wrongdoings on someone, and you've been chosen for that reason. No special reason for it. Certain things just happen to coincide. Huh? What? So the Mafia... has decided to try to pin blame for all of their crimes on a Japanese national that just happened to come to America to study abroad? A whole mafia tried to pin it all on one person? What? This doesn't make any... so I've been made a culprit without even realizing it? Then what am I supposed to be guilty of? You don't know. Considering it was a scam, someone can get away with it, just as long as it wasn't revealed. But I had to know why a doppelganger was necessary to take my place. I don't really want to think about it, but... Murder? If that were the case, I might never walk free again. Bingo. Chad smiled, pleased with my answer. What's with this guy's nerves? I stared down at the concrete. How did things end up like this? What will you do? Will you return home? Will I be safe if I do? Well, you've been here for a few days, so an Interpol notice might be issued at some point. I felt his eyes on me, watching for my reaction. To take away my school life and then take away my life entirely. And all of it was going to be blamed on me. I can't let that happen. Why? Why me? I cursed my bad luck. Even raising my head took a huge effort. It took me huge effort right now. I felt as though I was carrying a huge burden on my shoulders. No, I need to press on. So I'm supposed to have taken someone's life? But I'm not supposed to have committed the murder yet, right? What? What? How? This game does not explain anything. How does he not to know that the murder hasn't happened yet? I'm confused. Or, I check the news often. If my face had shown up, the people on the street would definitely be giving me a stronger reaction as we walked by them. Well, it's not like they... I don't know. It looks like it. I don't get it. First, I need to find the person who's supposed to be my murdered and warn them that they're in danger. This is so weird. Things just happen in this visual novel. Things just happen, and we just have to accept that they're happening and that they've always been happening. It's so strange. I don't imagine they would believe you. Just like when the stolen identity thing was brought up for the first time in Chapter 2, out of nowhere, that was such whiplash. You're probably right. No one would believe it that easily, being told they were going to die soon. But if I don't tell them, no one will. Chad's eyes widened. What, is something wrong? You constantly surpass my expectations. That was all he said, then smiled. What the hell does he mean by that? I tugged on Chad's arm and led him to a place where there weren't as many people. I thought you were the one who said we should try not to make a fuss. I apologize. This is just so much fun. Fun? Someone might get killed. I'm serious, why are you laughing? There are limits even to recklessness, and yet here you are, worrying about the life of someone you've never met before. It puzzles me. You know who's going to be killed, don't you? Well, perhaps I do, but what are you planning to do about it? Oh my god, Brad is awful. He knows literally everything from day one, and he doesn't want to tell us anything. Save them. I would ask you how, but I don't suppose you have a clear plan in mind. And didn't just like a minute ago he say he didn't know who the person who was gonna get murdered was? Ugh, he's just a fool of lies. He had me there, I couldn't respond. It's alright. Tell me where to find them. Of course, after all, if that person doesn't die, you won't bear the burden of that crime. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My chest tightened painfully. Episode 6. I like how there's no space between the number and the episode and the word episode. Chad accompanied me to a large mansion not far away. Most of the residential buildings in New York were all apartment blocks, and yet this place had a front lawn, extravagant ornaments scattered across the facade, and statues near the front gate. Some people really do live in houses like this. Haha, your face tells me that you've never seen one of these before. Not once. Have you, Chad? A few times, because of my work. His work? What does he do exactly? I realized all over again that I didn't know a thing about Chad. He's clearly also in the Mafia. He's probably in part of the Mafia group that is pinning this on Hinata. What expectations does Chad even have, or why does he expect anything out of Hinata? Well, Hinata is very young and easily manipulatable, so that's why he expects something from Hinata, you know? And I guess Chad also noticed that Hinata is a really easy, horny sub. Is something the matter? No, it's nothing. I was worrying about whether we could just walk right up in there and get them to talk to us. I see. I suppose it wouldn't be that simple. But while I'm standing here thinking about it, they might get killed. I told myself that moving forward was more important than worrying, and took a step towards that house. Chad stopped me. Hinata, if you walk straight in there, no one's going to believe you. I know that, but the person who owns that mansion is in danger. I'm sure they'll at least listen to what I have to say. Then maybe I can make them understand. At that, Chad sighed deeply. Do you think anyone would have accumulated this sort of wealth by being that naive? Is this a call? Are you calling me out? This scene at the casino floated to the front of my mind. Can you get this far by tricking and deceiving people? The scope of this business must be even bigger than that of the casino. Maybe this person had cheated someone too. Manipulating people, collecting information, crushing competitors. What? Reading. Someone who takes others down will know that he runs the risk of being taken down himself. It won't be easy to get that sort of person to trust you. I'm just an ordinary guy. I know they'll trust me. What? The logic does not compute. Wanting to desperately escape this situation, I let go of Chad's arm. Hinata, honestly, I have no idea what will happen. There was no one at the entrance, and I was able to enter the mansion fairly easily. What? So the front door to someone's McMansion is just unlocked. Apparently there was no gate around the mansion. You just walked in, and you're just like, hey, Japanese twink here. Anyone here? Shouldn't there be more security? The rooms inside were even more glamorous than on the exterior. Hello, is anyone there? For a place this huge, you'd think there'd at least be a maid around. When I tried to enter one of the rooms... Ow! Suddenly, someone grabbed my arm and twisted it behind my back. It's gonna be that guy in the trench coat. What? Who are you doing? Or what are you doing? I was pushed forward and fell to my knees. My face scraped against the floor as I tried desperately to see who was doing this. Are these people security? They must have hidden themselves away when they saw me coming. What about Chad? If he came inside, Chad would also be in danger. Please, Chad knew this would happen. That's why he's not inside. Still facing the floor, I tried frantically to explain myself. I heard the life of the person who lives here is in danger and I came to warn them. Like, how crazy are you? Like, how crazy are you? Some Japanese twink runs into your mansion. The person who lives here is going to be killed, so I came here to warn them. Like, what the hell? You think we're going to believe that? Who sent you? Ow, that hurts. If you don't start talking, it's only going to get worse. This isn't the callboy you ordered, master? Oh dear. Worse, my movements were restricted and tears of pain sprung into my eyes. I came to say something important. Who sent you and why? I decided to come here on my own. Ow, that... If you insist on hiding the identity of the person behind this, we'll have no choice but to interrogate you. Torture? I knew this was my last warning. Then I heard footsteps ring out across the floor. Terrified, I waited to find out who it was. Manhandling a cute little thing like Hinata. No manners at all. Enough hide and seek, Chairman. Or should I say, CO. You could come out now. You have nothing to fear from us. Chad walked to the center of the room, his eyes glued to the top of the stairs. There's something we need to talk about. Didn't think I'd see you here. A man with an impressive stature appeared on the staircase. Judging by his pure white hair and walking cane, I guessed he was getting on in years. Forget about me. May I ask you to let this young man go? The elderly gentleman immediately gave a signal with the tip of his cane. As soon as I was free, I stood up and moved to Chad's side. Chad, thanks, but why did it take you so long to come inside? I was just sort of laughing at you being pushed to the floor by that security guard. It was quite amusing. I was imagining I was him. Do you know him? Sometimes I work with him, sometimes against him. I know you're involved in this latest affair. Of course. And the kid, is he also involved? Well, if you put it that way, I guess I am, but... I wanted to say that I'm just as much a victim in this as you are. But the old man didn't have the air of a victim at all. He actually seemed more like a villain. There's no way he'll believe me. Chad seemed to think otherwise. There certainly is a lot of security here, almost as though you've already been attacked. I have, several times, but every single attempt has been prevented. And yet you haven't actually caught any of the perpetrators. Indeed, they've killed 2 of ours, in fact. What in the world is going on? When I heard that, the blood drained from my face. Hinata, are you alright? I slumped forward. Chad met my eyes. You're as white as a sheet. I felt a little calmer at the sound of his voice. You kind of look like a geisha. Will you put on a geisha dress for me when we go back to my place? I'm okay, please go on. Chad gave me a pat on the back and resumed the conversation. I'm sure you understand that Hinata has nothing to do with this latest assassination attempt. Huh. Not sure I believe you. There are child gorillas in this world, after all. Yeah, are there child gorillas that are this stupid and twinky and subby? I don't think so. Unbelievable. Chad waved a hand dismissively, looking annoyed. You're getting rusty after all. Constantly building up and knocking down corporations over and over again. The old man was visibly shaking. Haha, surely you recall how... Why is he shaking? How A-Corp was supposed to take over that public works project, and yet ultimately it was handed over to C-Corp. How do you... And then B-Corp, which was trying to take over A-Corp, went bankrupt, and C-Corp snatched it up. Now I know my ABCs. The old man's body seemed to shrink in on itself. Ancient history. A lot was taken from me back then, you know that. Of course I do. You own companies that went bankrupt. I never would have guessed things would go this smoothly. Chad flashed them a contemptuous smile. Go this smoothly? What have you done? And I had no clue all this... Ah! 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 It's like Chad's just like, I know all of your shady business dealings, and the old man's just like, how do you know about that? I thought I kept it all a secret. And then Hinata's just back here like, I haven't said anything in a while, but I didn't know anything about any of this. Like, who asked you, Hinata? Of course you didn't know anything about this, dumbass. It's simple. A request came in stating that certain companies owned by this man, Mr. Carnegie, were causing a hindrance and needed to be brought down. So I forced him into a great deal of debt and hounded him into bankruptcy. Hearing him speak of this so calmly, I couldn't utter a word. You just uttered a word before though, hun. Oops, I didn't read that. Oh god. You were enchanted with a certain actress at the time. How was that vixen I sent you? Bankruptcy? Vixen? You just said you couldn't talk because you were too stunned. It's all business. I knew it. She was a trick by C Corp. Everyone is weak to a woman's charms, except for me. I'm more into those young Japanese boys that don't even look 18. You were no exception, except for me, of course. Wait a moment. I can't see any good reason for that. Hinata, can you stop interrupting while I give these lore bombs? But if I hadn't done it, the client C Corp would have lost its connections and a great number of employees would have been out of their jobs. This game just goes like a mile a minute. On the other hand, Mr. Carnegie's company gained a huge fortune. Even if it took a loss or two, the employees were all well set up with retirement money. I imagine there are a great many of people in this country who resent Mr. Carnegie for that. Enough! To try and kill me? Don't be foolish. He thumped the floor with his cane. The sound echoed across the room. Anyway, don't turn this into such a melodrama, Chad. My company and I weren't going to let it pass that easily. The old man raised his hand. Security responded immediately. It was a rare stroke of luck to catch you here. I expect you to spit out the mastermind for this one. Chad may not talk, but I'll easily get you to sing along. I don't know anything. I'm just a Japanese twin. No, we only came here to warn you. That's what I wanted to say, but security was already running towards us. Don't you want to know who's behind this? Oh, are you really going to let that information slip so readily? My client is someone else. I've done my own research concerning the mastermind. I was very much surprised at the coincidence of C-Corp's request. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but the atmosphere was so charged that I didn't dare say a word. I don't even know what I'm hearing. I don't know what's going on. Chad Coleman. Yes. What do you expect in return? Nothing much. I want no harm to come to him, and I want to ensure that he can attend his university. University? There are proper procedures for that. He tried to go with the proper procedures, but got mixed up in this mess. Now he has too much to spare. He has too much spare time on his hands, and you're chairman at that place after all. University at a time like this? I could be dead tomorrow, you know. But I know who your true enemy is. You'll be wanting to retaliate, I'm sure, and I don't want to get tangled up in what you do. Is the boy that important to you? Yes, he's utterly guilt-free. I see. I promise no one will meddle with this boy, and he will be treated appropriately. Chad looked at me and gave me a warm smile. Well, you're out of the woods now. Right, but not everything has been resolved. That's just the way it works in the underworld. You say he's completely guilt-free? Yes, he merely came here to study university. He's an ordinary boy. I see. I feel as if his eyes are looking right through me. He's scary. I must ask that you not torment Hinata. Only I'm allowed to cause him torment. Heh. So Chad has actually had my back this whole time. Where did you get that? The atmosphere quickly softened and Chad and Carnegie chatted casually for a little while. Then we all decided to have dinner together. dinner together, after which we made our way back. Awesome, great. Whatever the hell. This game. After all of that happened, then we just chatted casually for a while. We just shot the shit for a bit, and then we went and had dinner. Well, that's the end of this video.